Out of everything that's set to go down in the second half of the Owl House Season 2, one of the things I'm looking forward to most is the inevitable return of Lilith Clawthorne, alongside any new trick she may have up her sleeve. Now that Ida has her hot bird lady transformation, I think it's reasonable that Lilith will complement the Owl Lady with a bat to the bird look of her own. In fact, the show's already set it up. Let's explore the concept of Lilith's Harpy transformation, how it could service her character arc, and how it could give us new information centered around the Owl Beast. And to stay in the loop of all things Owl House, including updates on when the show will return as soon as we find out, please subscribe to the Roundtable with notifications on so you never miss a video. Lilith's departure and keeping up appearances included her stating aloud her hopes towards learning more about the curse.
There's still a lot to be learned about this curse.
A line which I don't think the show would have included unless the writers plan to follow up on it with immediate payoff next time Lily appears. However, with the existence of Ida's Harpy form coming to fruition after her sister's temporary leave, I would imagine that whatever discoveries are made on Lilith's end surpass what Ida, alongside we as an audience, have come to know, in order to avoid retreading old ground. Yet, for Lilith to possess new information, I'd wager that she already mastered her Harpy form off screen, making strides at a faster pace than Ida due to her sister being preoccupied with stopping Emperor Belos and the Day of Unity. Not to mention, Ida and Lilith naturally still share a sibling rivalry with one another, so even without any bad blood, I could see some pretty entertaining scenes of the two trying to one-up each other under these new conditions. Whereas Ida resented the curse for decades, I think Lilith will learn to embrace it as a part of herself sooner. She has already observed Ida's various struggles in relation to the curse, which I'm sure will help Lilith adapt faster. And Lilith seems like the kind of person who would be proactive in getting control over her blackouts and her body, as she's aware of the damage that can be done. Given that Ida and Lilith tend to take the opposite approach from one another in a situation, this also leads me to believe that Lilith would actively seek out her half of the Owl Beast, or Raven Beast, and reach a similar conclusion to Ida's and knock on Hootie's door. Whereas Ida typically avoided confrontation with the Owl Beast until she suffered from flare-ups or nightmares that forced her to face it head-on, I foresee Lilith connecting with the Beast through means of meditation and similar tactics that connect her to the astral plane, with the aid of her mother, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn's years of research on the curse and abundance of attempted remedies may have been misguided, as it displayed a lack of acceptance towards her daughter's condition, but I believe her services could greatly benefit Lilith if they go about it in a different way, aiming to soothe and communicate with the beast within rather than eliminate it. Needless to say, I think it wouldn't take long for Lilith to connect with her Raven Beast and reach an understanding, especially as she wouldn't have to deal with the decades of baggage that Ida had to sort through before achieving her transformation. This doesn't mean that she'd be deprived of character development, however. Lilith's own deep dive could focus on her perspective around cursing Ida and the long-lasting consequences that decision had, the aftermath of Ida scratching out their father's eye, the family dynamic after Ida's departure in general, Lilith's guilt over the years while in the Emperor's Coven, trying to recruit her sister so she can heal her. These are all moments I could see Lilith revisiting to further identify her own issues. Also, hear me out. Lilith and Ida possess different memories from the Owl Beast, which will be important down the road. Knock on Hootie's door included a very important piece of the Owl Beast's history prior to being bound to Ida. Granted, with these being shared memories, the Owl Beast was depicted as Ida under its possession. We witnessed the Owl Beast being hunted down on an island that seemed removed from the Boiling Isles, given the remains of a different titan visible in the distance. The Owl Beast was pursued by none other than a mysterious cloaked individual, dubbed as the Collector, who shortly transformed the Owl Beast into the cursed scroll that would find its way into the black market. The Collector's return feels like another guarantee of how much of a blank spot it is, and we definitely need more context. Why was it transformed into a curse? The answers may not lie in Ida's memories, at least not any longer, due to Ida and Lilith splitting the curse. There's a chance that half of its memories remain in Ida, while the other half got transferred into Lily, locked away inside her mind. So her own internal conflict could pave the way for another grand revelation, another piece of the puzzle that makes up the Owl House's big picture. And to round things out, how would Lilith's Harpy transformation contrast from her sister Ida's? Well, aside from the obvious factor of the form taking visual cues from a raven as opposed to an owl, a part of me wonders if this transformation could also utilize any remnants of magic Lilith may have left. although I feel like her magic is gone for good, at least when it comes to everyday appliances. The show has left some ambiguity with this change in the status quo. Lilith only said that her magic has been weakened, and while her use of glyphs seem to be out of necessity, it makes sense she want to get a jump on it as she knows she'll have to fully rely on it eventually, and she may be cautious to even attempt magic in case she has to bust the last what she truly has out in a desperate situation. Hell, Separate Tides made a point to show Ida attempt and fail to use magic drawn from her battle sack numerous times. I'll also throw in that it took Ida years to be depleted of her magic, while Lilith is still adjusting to the change as a whole. So I don't know if it makes too much sense for her magic to be completely drained already. It has been mentioned in the past that warding off the owl beast alone can deplete a witch of magic, but we don't know if that still applies after a witch makes amends with the owl beast. Hell, Ida has it under control without any magic, so I can see Lilith not having to worry about it as much as her sister had to. It'd be cool for Ida's Harpy form to focus more on brute strength and short-range combat, while Lilith's focused on spellcasting and long-range combat. However, the reason why I think the show could be keeping the reveal of Lilith's lingering magic secret ties into the special ability that we've only seen Lilith use. Her ability to share someone else's pain, minimizing their wounds as a result. When this was introduced in Youngblood Old Souls, it felt kinda random, a convenient solution for the episode's resolution. Hey, that rhymes.
You kinda just rhymed
Solution
with
solution.
Please, call me G-Spot.
But I'm wondering if there was a long-term plan by introducing this power. Let's say Lilith's Harpy form was capable of doing the exact opposite. Instead of sharing someone else's pain and taking it on herself, what if she was able to spread pain onto others? I initially got this idea from rewatching Ida's Requiem. We saw that the curse's influence has a direct impact on Ida's bard magic, causing everything and everyone around her to turn into ash, a dangerous spell that is sure to have its own repercussions. So let's say this inverse reaction applies to Lilith. Out of all of her known magical abilities, the pain sharing seems as if it would be affected the most by the curse, as most of her other spells just come down to elements, transforming this power from a wholesome, somewhat sacrificial ability to the touch of death. Essentially those moves where you absorb a bunch of hits, then come back swinging with one that sends that damage right back at an opponent tenfold. I think that packed a punch. And that's everything I have for today. Whatever may happen with Lilith's half of the curse, it is sure to deliver something fierce, and I eagerly await the cosplay and fanart that'll arise from that form's introduction. Transformations are just so cool, and I'm glad more Western animation is starting to lean into it. But as always, these are just my thoughts, and I want to hear yours. What do you think? What are your thoughts towards Lilith getting her own Harpy transformation? How do you think it would stand out from Ida's? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, or tweet them over at Roundtable Vids. And you can find me over at OffStrickFox on both Twitter and Instagram.
Special thanks to JANKYBONES for creating an awesome thumbnail. For more of their amazing art, you can find them on Tumblr at JANKYBONES, Twitter and Instagram at BoneJanky, and subscribe to their YouTube channel. Link in the description.
If you enjoyed this video, please throw a like, and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. See ya!